guys, today we're going to do a bit of a product review on this cheap eBay winch. So I'll do a bit of a price breakdown. The winch when I first bought it was I think $360 from eBay with free postage. That same day that I bought it, because I'm an idiot and didn't look, I found the Dominator winch from Full Drive Supercenter for only $370. So why I didn't look around just a little bit more, I don't know, but clearly I stuffed up there. It really, like this winch, it's been okay, but yeah, like it makes some pretty crazy noises, it wobbles a lot, it sometimes just stops, so it's not the best. That's why I guess I'll replace it with the Dominator, but I guess for an eBay special it has gotten me out of trouble a couple of times. On this car and on my old car on the 4Runner, there was a time me and my partner, we took it up to the one of the mud tracks in Cooma and dumped it into a mud hole. It's probably 30 metres long. We probably got 25 metres of it, 25 metres through that mud hole, and that last 5 metres was just so sloppy and shit that there was no way it was coming out. So anyway, out comes the winch. She did its job. Pretty happy with that. But I noticed as soon as I started putting pressure on that winch, this little eyelet here just bent. It bent so much that I could barely get the hook off when it came time to move that, to get the winch off. So I could barely get this little hook off. It's not the greatest hook either. It's I have noticed that it has bent. It sort of pulled itself away this way just a little bit, not heaps, but enough for me to be concerned about. So I think if I'm going to keep running this winch front or rear, I'm going to be changing this hook. So I think I've had this winch for about 8 months now. It hasn't really done that much work. It's sort of winched me out twice. It's sort of towed, like pulled a couple of things out and around, like the patrol and stuff. We've just had to move around. But I gotta say, for an eBay winch, you know, the pulling power's there, but you know, eBay of course stings again with the quality. So when I pulled the winch out of the bull bar, these two bolts had actually just disappeared. So that wasn't actually connected to that. So the only thing holding the winch together was the mounting bolts down here in the winch plate, which was concerning. So pulled him out, had a look. As I pulled out, it fell apart, which is, you know, great. So I'm going to endeavour to try and find some new bolts for this. I'll do a bit of a rebuild on the winch. I don't know how to do that, so I guess we're going to learn on camera. And then this winch will actually get moved to the rear of the car, so I can have a rear winch, and I'll get a new Dominator for the front, so at least then I know I've got quality up the front. So since the last video I've actually been pretty busy. I've ripped off the bull bar so I could get the winch out. I've cut a big hole in the front grille so I can stick a light bar in there. Also I've tinted it. Yeah, you can see it fits in there pretty nicely actually, and of course had to keep the old school thing. This is something I've always done on every Toyota I've ever had, is flip this upside down. Now, it wasn't that easy to mount again because, you know, I've cut away most of everything. So all I did was sneak a little cable tie there and done. But the plan is I'm actually going to be building a new bull bar, something a fair bit stronger, but also not that doesn't quite stick out as far. Like the old one, I noticed it really stuck out and never quite sat right. I was never really happy with it. It was ugly. I didn't do a good job building it, so I think I can do better this time. I also want to mount the winch just a little bit lower, because I've noticed I've had overheating issues lately, like really bad, as you've seen in one of the videos from Christmas. Yeah, the overheating happened again while we're heading down the coast one day. So what I'm going to do with this new bull bar is try and mount the winch somewhere it's not going to block as much, but I'm also going to build a vent. So whether the winch ends up here under the grill or whether it ends up down here, either way I'm going to, if it's up here, I'll build a little bottom feed vent so it just funnels air straight in there, and if it's up here, if it's down here, I'll build a vent along the top of it. No lights, no nothing can go in that, nothing can go in the way of that. It'll just be straight air going into that. So hopefully that makes a difference. Another thing that I will be doing is a snorkel. So you'll notice this nice new decal, Hilux Owners Club, but I'm going to do a steel snorkel. The stainless look, but not out of stainless just because I can't weld it. But it'll just get painted black to go with the car. So full staino snorkel. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to try and get it behind the guard as early as I can, so I can't bring it down and send it straight in, so then it's not this big ugly black thing poking out. I am yet to take the guard off to actually see how much space I've got back there, so who knows. My plan may or may not work, but I would love it if I can just sort of tuck the snorkel in straight away so it's not this big thing just going, not this big giant dick going along the car. So the snorkel will probably happen first before the bull bar, just because, you know, this guard has to come on and off a bunch of times to do the snorkel, and it will be a lot easier if I don't even have a bull bar in the way. So I'll build the snorkel first. I don't really need a winch at the moment, I'm not really going out anywhere. I'll build the snorkel first and then I'll get started on the bull bar. The bull bar is going to be full tube with just some sheet across it. There will obviously be a big winch cradle so I can house a new Dominator. And yeah, I guess I'll have to learn how to bend pipes properly and notch tube properly, but it's all a learning experience. It should all be good fun. So just putting the winch back together now. I'm just going to try and find some bolts to go in the these two. Down the bottom, the original ones are Allen key bolts, but I almost put money on me not having anything like that. So I'll have a dig around, see what I can find, and then I guess it's just time to start test fitting it here, see where it's going to fit perfectly. I want it as close to the body as I can get it, just so I don't have heaps of shit poking out of the front, but I guess we'll see. Another thing I need to do, probably in this video, just I haven't had time since I pulled the bull bar off, is just find somewhere to mount the two-way aerial, just for now. I'm thinking I might just do like a little right angle bracket along here somewhere, or I'm really not sure how I'm actually going to do it. It's only going to be a temporary mount. It's just got to work. That's all that really matters. So this is going to be my little aerial bracket. It's got a couple of holes in it. It's just some random bracket from Bunnings. It's just kind of screwed into one of the many holes in the side of the tray. So what I have to do here is I have to drill out this big hole here so I can fit the aerial mast through it, and then it can just get bolted straight on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down here in this corner. That way it shows me exactly where the corner of my ute is, so I really find it hard to park this thing sometimes. So having that big aerial right there showing me where the corner is going to be a big help. I've just had a bit of a change of heart. There is so much space under here if I get rid of this water tank to do a rear mount winch. Now the only thing I've got to worry about is where I'm actually going to mount the fair lead thing, whatever the big silver thing, that billet looking thing. But I mean, that won't be that hard. And hey, who doesn't want a rear mount winch? I do. And then just absolutely do the Dominator for the front. It could look pretty cool. Double winches. Need to work out how I do it electrically, but yeah. And then that way, if I'm ever towing a car trailer and trying to drag something on that doesn't run, I can just winch it on.
and I don't have to go the old hand cranky fucking winch that takes ages. You just winch it on, done. So I've just had a bit of a stop for lunch. You know, always got to feed yourself. But I am actually pretty much finished with the truck today. It's starting to get too hot and it's really windy, so I've got to go in, do house stuff and make sure nothing flies away. But what I have done is the aerial is installed, going all the way up there. Just run the cable down the front. It's not the best looking thing, but whatever. Cable's run. It's all done. I think I have my keys on me now, so let's just give her a test run, shall we? Somehow. Don't know how we're going to do this. Well, it turns on. That's a good start. Let's go channel 40.
Like,
Shut up, radio. We'll turn my little fucking handheld on. Got a little Uniden handheld. Oops, someone's talking. Really good little radio. Great range on this little thing. And for the price, you can't really go wrong. Like, it's just a brilliant radio. So, let's have a chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Don't mind me, the battery's just gone flat in the Uniden. All good. It sort of works, obviously. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see as we're driving around town over the next week or so anyway. But, yeah, she's all done. All wrapped up. Look how cool that looks. Just big fat winch. And the winch is going to be really on display there as well, which is going to be good because I couldn't see it at all with the last bull bar. I couldn't see anything really. I couldn't see how the winch rope was wound up, which explains why it's sort of all over the shop. There's more up this end and there's more in the middle, and so now being able to really display it, I'll be able to see it. I'll be able to see if there's issues with the winch rope. I'll just be able to. It'll just be a lot better setup. So thanks for watching, guys. Aerial done. Winch off. Gonna go on the back. That's it. See you next week.